Ainda podes reagir, se queres.
Vou esquecer do tom.
C'est pareil? Il est 7 heures, va.
It is 7 o'clock. I will call the meeting to order. Before we adopt the agenda, there are a few additions, some letters that came in after the agenda was prepared. At 8.2, we will add it as 8.6. And 8.7, Louisiana Acadie. And the session in camera is, instead of acquisition of municipal property, on the English agenda, it's a sale of municipal acquisition. Does anybody wish to move? Moved by Danny, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 2B, declaration of conflict of interest. Are there any items? Councillor Poitier? At 11.9, I am an employee of the CSCP, so there might be a conflict. Thank you. It is noted. Anybody else see anything in conflict? If not, we will go on to 3 presentations. There aren't any this evening. At item 4, adoption of the minutes, 4.1, January 15, 2020, the regular council meeting. Any errors or omissions? Moved by Councillor LeBlanc, seconded by Councillor Hill. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 4.2, February 5th, 2020, the council and committee meeting. Any errors or omissions? Moved by Councillor DeVoe, seconded by Councillor Hill. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion is carried. Business arising from previous council meetings. There is nothing there unless you have something you want to discuss. If not, we will go on to 6, the warden's activity report. It's a long report. I'll try to go in quickly. On January 18th, I attended a strategic planning for the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation. On January 23rd, a meeting of the edifice, the church in Church Point committee. I had a meeting of the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation on January 29th, a meeting of the Board of Directors at Université Sainte-Anne. February 6th, attended a meeting at the Clare Health Center, organized by Tchaikovsky. They were going through the zone and stopped at all the medical centers to check. It was a good meeting, but the residents are looking at different possibilities, and you spoke French, so it was interesting. We keep in contact. On February 6th, I attended to the public consultation meeting for the veterans. Somebody else was there also. It was a good session for information. On February 7th, I participated with an interview with CBC and the second with CJLS to discuss there was a lot of interest following the press release that Amy had. It was a good day. On February 8th, I attended the meeting for the Governor's Council of Université Sainte-Anne. On February 10th, I attended to a ceremony to thank Dr. Albacomo at the municipal office, to thank him for his work with the municipality. They presented a plaque for his years of service, and instead of having a big celebration as we did in the past, he wanted us to take the money that it would have cost to have an open house and make a donation to the Yarmouth Hospital Foundation. And he appeared very happy, and we want to thank him publicly for all his work. We were lucky to have such a good doctor in the area. He will be missed by everyone. So we wish him a good retirement. On February 12th, I attended a meeting with an update for the community planning with the economic development, the Acadian development community at the Veterans Hall. The public was invited. They wanted to see what the priorities of the community is or are, and there will be a revised plan to the community. On February 13th, I attended to the audit committee of the CDNA, and February 18th, a meeting with all the members of the council with the federal MP, Chris D'Entremont, just to congratulate him and talk about our concerns and what he thought, what his priorities are to see what can happen. And on February 19th today, there was a meeting of the Church Point Church Committee. We met with the consultants at the Louis Deveau Center. Councillor Thibault was there also. So that is my report in general. So next we will go on to official statements.
Are there any official presentations? As you know, there have been manifestations everywhere in Canada by groups that oppose the natural gas pipeline because routes are blocked, and in the east of Canada the railroad is blocked, and it's hard to, there are many things that can't get to destination because of the rail strike. Today I spoke with residents from Metegan River, who's 95 years old, who uses propane to cook. The propane cannot distribute, can only distribute half of what they usually do. So there will be a problem there for the community and for certain businesses. So I'd like to ask Council to contact our Southwest Nova deputy to tell him our concerns regarding this matter. And if there are, we'd like to remind another time that maybe this are concerns that could happen. Do you agree with this? That is a situation quite serious? Are there other presentations from members of council? And then we go to correspondence. The letter from Chris D'Entremont.
Je peux lire en anglais. Il était en anglais. Ferme ton micro pour que le monde voit.
You and your council at your earliest convenience in order to better understand the current issues and challenges you face in your area and to build relationships that will help us in working together. Looking forward to hearing from you. Kind regards, Chris D'Entremont, MP Nova West. La lettre ici est envoyée littéralement à la roue avant que communiquer avec leur bureau.
Or we communicated with his office, and the meeting from council, it was already been sent by mail when we met him. Are there questions or comments on this letter? Go to 8.2, Glennie Langell, Chief of Protocol, Secretary of the Order of Nova Scotia. This is sent to all mayors regarding the Order of Nova Scotia.
Scotia is the highest honor that the province can bestow on an individual. It recognizes people who have made an exceptional contribution to their community and the province. Some individuals who have been invested into the Order of Nova Scotia are household names. Others have enriched the life of our province through acts and deeds that are known to only a few. But they all share one very important thing. They have been nominated by their fellow Nova Scotians for the honor. As a leader in your community, you are in an exceptional position to recognize excellence. I encourage you to promote the Order of Nova Scotia in your community through public speaking opportunities, newsletters, and on social media. Please find enclosed a poster or nomination form to distribute to your constituents or direct them to the Protocol Office's website where the nomination form can be downloaded. Should you require additional information or material, please contact Sam Bolton, coordinator of the Order of Nova Scotia, puis ses coordonnées sont inclus dans la lettre. Date for nominations is Friday, March 20th, 2020. Thank you for your consideration and cooperation. I look forward to receiving the nominations of the deserving Nova Scotians from communities across the province to this prestigious order. No.
In the past, we have suggested people for the Order of Nova Scotia. If you can think of somebody who would be a good candidate, if you can think of somebody, we can discuss it, and we can send an application. So I urge you to think about who could probably be nominated for this distinction. It's quite a big work to do it, but I think it's very worthwhile. 10.8.3, Ryan Mesh, Mayor of the Town of Church Point, Louisiana.
Fermez le micro.
Church Point, Nova Scotia, to visit us during the Grand Réveil Acadien, which will take place in South Louisiana from October 3rd to 11th, 2020. In particular, Church Point, Louisiana will host an open house at Le Vieux Presbytère Museum and a craft fair on the afternoon of Sunday, October 10th. We are eager to meet citizens from our twin city at this event. Sincerely yours, Ryan Mesh, Mayor.
So, comme vous voyez,
As you see, there's a couple more letters regarding this. This explains essentially what they are about. 8.4, the Honorable Rod Hines, Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal.
Dated November 4th, 2019. Excusez-moi. Dear Mr. Sear, thank you for your letter dated November 4th, 2019 regarding Common Cross Road between civic numbers 92 and 155 in Sonyville, Nova Scotia. I am advised that staff is aware of concerns expressed in your letter and have plans to install guardrails this upcoming summer construction season. If you have any further questions, please email the area manager, Pamela Melman-Sand. Sincerely, Lloyd P. Hines, Minister.
questions, commentaires?
Any questions or comments? 8.5, Honorable Chuck Porter, Minister of Municipal Affairs.
$322.71 will be mailed to your office from the 911 Cost Recovery Fund. As in past years, the purpose of this funding is to provide for the recovery of the incremental costs associated with the administration of civic addressing programs at the municipal level. I want to take this opportunity to express my thanks to you and your staff for the excellent support provided to the Nova Scotia 911 system, without which we could not continue to deliver the very high caliber of service that Nova Scotians have come to expect. Should you have any questions, please contact the Emergency Management Office toll-free at 1-866-424-5620. Sincerely, Chuck Porter, Minister.
Question, oui.
Yes, I have one question. Is this a moment that we have spent and that would be a reimbursement? It's an amount that's sent to us every year, but it varies from one year to the next. It is what we, the amounts we spend on civic addressing system. Oh, any other questions? 8.6.
Mr. Sear, following up on the letter our mayor recently sent you, I too invite you and your community, especially the residents of Church Point, Nova Scotia, to visit us during the Grand Réveil Acadien, which will take place in South Louisiana from October 3rd to 11th, 2020. In addition to the craft fair in Church Point on Saturday, October 10th, to which the mayor referred, the Vieux Presbytère Museum will host an open house at 11 a.m. that same day. We are eager to meet citizens from our Twin City at this event. Please take a look at our attractions online, on Facebook. By the way, I understand that Clare has been named the co-host municipality of the Congrès Mondial Acadien 2024. Congratulations. I hope many of our citizens will attend. Sincerely, Harold J. Font, Louisiana, Church Point, Liaison, Church Point Cultural District.
Så har jag något lätt sig så väl.
There is another letter, we might as well read it, from Randall Menard, President of Louisiane Acadie. Mr. Warden, a bit after the first year, after the World Acadian Congress that was held in New Brunswick and PEI, Louisiana will organize its third Grand Réveil. From October the 3rd to the 11th, numerous events will take place at putting in evidence the Acadian heritage in Louisiana will take place in the areas of New Orleans and Lake Charles. The Acadian Festival will regroups annually in Lafayette some thousands of Cajuns. The numerous municipal twinnings that link the villages of l'Acadie elsewhere in Canada and Louisiana will be recognized and celebrated during these festivities. Officially, we hope to regroup representatives from all the twinning cities for a forum to be held on Saturday, October 3rd, 2020 at the Cajun Dome Convention Center. We hope to join all the Acadians who are involved. This agreement could involve some minimal financing from the part of each city. So we have the pleasure of inviting you to participate to the Grand Réveil 2020, and we hope to encourage you to join us for this event. The municipality that you are twinned with has been contacted and would be happy to receive you. Thank you, Randall Menard. So especially with the Congress, it would be a good idea to explore and see the problem that exists here is in October 2020 will be the municipal elections, and it causes some difficulties at the political level to participate in such a campaign, but at the same time with the Congress that is existing and the committee that is in place, what I think we could do is communicate with the others to see how we could take part, if it is somebody from the Congress who goes or the municipality, if that's what we want to do. So if you agree, we could just explore to see what we could develop in terms of relations. I don't want to give the impression that the municipality is not interested. We want to build on those relations, and the elections will cause difficulties. So I don't know what your suggestion. I think it is important that we have a presence. They mentioned in the letter that it doesn't matter who goes, but as long as we have somebody to go. I agree. I think that if they took the time to invite us to a congress, it would only be positive if we go. Somebody from the council or somebody who works for us can go from this area. I think it is important that we participate. Anybody else? I know it's a good opportunity to do promotion for us. It gives a lot of time also to build that relationship for our Congress in 2024, but they probably expect a reply. I don't know how exactly what we will be doing, but we'll see. If you agree with that, we will go on to 9, the Chief Administrative Officer's report. Thank you, Mr. Warden. Just an overview of the projects that we have in place. The big news is the release of our rural internet project. There are a few points. Is on February 7th, the municipality, the province, and Mainland Telecom announced the first phase, and it will be fiber up to the homes and the businesses in the area. We are talking about a linking that will be 278 kilometers throughout the municipality of Clare, and it includes the second division roads. We estimate that we will reach 4,600 residences and businesses in the municipality. If we look at the cost of the project, we are looking at 9.95 million, and this is the contribution to the province. From the province is 4.4 million, Mainland Telecom 3.1 million, and the municipality of Clare is 2.45 million. The municipality's portion is funded over 4 years using the federal gas tax funding allocation, and as such will have our contribution will have no impact on the residential and commercial tax rates within the municipality that the residents are paying now. It is revenues from the federal tax, gas tax. In terms of speed, Mainland will be offering 2 packages, one of 300 megabytes per second or 1 gigabyte per second. And this is a lot better than the speed that we have now throughout the municipality. The pricing to the residents, we have controls in place with the Mainland and the province to ensure that the rural residents will not be penalized because they are rural. There are controls in place to ensure that the residents do not pay more for the service than somebody else in Halifax would pay for the same service. So again, we want to make sure that there is no price gouging. So somebody in Clare will be paying the same price for the same service as the urbans like Halifax, Moncton, and elsewhere. For the 278 kilometer network, Mainland will be able to start installing the lines on the post this spring, and the estimated timeline for the completion is of 11 to 24 months to conclude the project. And warden mentioned earlier that this is an important project for for the municipality. They are looking at transformers throughout a lot of sectors, educational, cultural, immigration, with the different health sectors. So it is the biggest important project for the municipality. And we are exploring again with mainland the possibility of having a second request to the province to have another high-speed internet project to cover the sections of the municipality of Clare who are not covered as part of this first phase. So those discussions are ongoing, and it is early, but we have a good idea of where we would like to go. So the goal again is to ensure that we meet the most residents and businesses of the area. So it is a good news for our area. Some less good news is the situation at the Belleville Cove Wharf. You have, as you know, the big storm surge that we had recently did a lot of considerable damage to the wharf, and the municipality as owner of the wharf want to ensure the security of the area. The good news is that we have insurances for the wharf, and we are in discussions with the insurers to see what the next steps are. Earlier today, we secured the wharf. As you know, the end of the wharf was broken, and the wharf, the lighthouse was leaning, so there is a security temporary in place. So our claim adjuster was on site today to start his investigation of the damage, and we are comparing with them as much as possible. We sent photos, we sent names of local suppliers who could give estimates for the cost to repair the wharfs and the lighthouse and other structures. And he noted that we have also benches on the site that have been damaged or completely destroyed, and the value of these benches will be taken into consideration. Presently, the wharf has been moved. We started to clean the site today. The southern part of the wharf was cleaned today, and all the garbage like the seaweeds and driftwood has all been cleaned. Tomorrow, the supplier, BJ Lombard, is doing the work now, and the insurance company will be hired to do it. They will do the next part, the northern part of the wharf, where the farmers market is, where the damage took place. We also had signs at both wharfs. The sign says, "Dangerous, keep out." We don't want the people to go on the wharf. We want to ensure that we do everything that we can to ensure the safety, and the northern and southern sides was damaged, and we don't want the people to trip and fall. So for the time being, we are asking the people to be prudent and to have somebody there to look into this.
Our insurance policy, the company will determine a price to bring back the wharf and the infrastructures related to the wharf at their pre-lost state. And I know it's an opportunity for council to the wharf needs work to be done, and maybe we can change a bit the vision we have for the wharf. We're wondering whether we should have big rocks or a breakwater which would reduce the risk of future damage by big storms. And we'll see if there's a difference with the that the insurance company is ready to pay us, and what it would cost to replace it with big rocks or a combination. So it might be the opportunity of council to look at this, and it would be something that might be eligible. Maybe we could pay the difference between what they're willing to pay and what the price that we would be building something more stable. I can bring you some prices later on this too, so that you can consider. You also capacity study at the wastewater treatment plant. Capacity assessment you mentioned should be done. The contract has been signed on January 23rd, and data has been collected. It is complete, and the assessment of the Medegan wastewater treatment plant is now underway. The project is on schedule. The estimated deadline for completion is March 31st or sooner. The capacity assessment has been quoted as $9,850 plus HST. We had talked about financing of this in different meetings that were submitted by Conseil Sigang for renovations at their clubhouse. Have discussed the council and have to work with them to review their proposal and offer guidance in terms of content and possible funding sources, and a possibility of municipal contribution. These discussions have been done, and we have met them. We had very good discussions regarding their needs in capital funding, and we have revised their submission, and they have found different sources of financing. Up to now, there are two requests for financing that have been addressed, one for Heritage Canada and another one for community facility improvement, and the second to the Credit Union Atlantic. The CCH proposal to the province was for a total of $54,288 and can be broken down as follows. The CCH provincial is $38,859. The applicant would be $5,429, and the municipality would be for $10,000. The 10,000 has not been confirmed yet. The CUA application is for $5,000 and focuses specifically on repairs to the roof. The group will also be applying to the province's Community Accessibility Program, which will launch in the new fiscal year. The first application deadline will be May 20th, 2020. We will continue to work with them and to see that they will be able to present their request for funding. Tourism, public spaces, development and improvement. The sites chosen were Parc Joseph and Valley du Gave, Elivos Cove, Kim St. Mary's Lighthouse Park, Mavillette Beach, and Smuggler's Cove. The project has been amended to include architectural services for possible exterior redesign of the Clare Veteran Center, with a focus on modernizing the overall look of the building, increasing the energy efficiency, and increasing accessibility. We are looking also at the possibility of adding Wentworth Park to the list of public spaces included in this project. I will come back with prices later on, and we have a conference call with Upland that has been scheduled for February 23rd with Larry Peach and myself. The Eco Park at the Travlik community center will be discussed in closed session. For our finances, we are still in a good position. On 31st December, we had revenues of 9,147,414 in revenues versus 7,809,000 in expenses, for a surplus of 1,338,374. Also, at January 31st, the municipality had a balance of 1,761,376 in its operating fund, 56,693 in its capital fund, and a total reserve balance of $5,626,664. The last amount is the operating service of 453,134, capital reserve 3,433,797, landfill closure reserve 327,929, the gas tax reserve 1,411,804. Just for the gas tax, the last this is the last amount that was given by the gas tax for this year. A few meetings, quite a few meetings with Mainland leading to and following the February 7th project announcement. I went to an energy planning workshop by the REN on January 23rd, 2020. I met with Jean-Guy Vienno, CDENE Strategic Plan Consultant, on January 24th, 2020. They are revising their strategic plan to see what different people would be doing to define their strategic plan. I met people, Seacrest Fisheries, regarding a project. I went to the Cermak public consultation February 6th. Our audit committee meeting met on February 11th. And then I guess this was a very good meeting. The meeting with Chris Lantermont on February 13, 2020. And finally, I met with AF Terrio and Sons Limited on February 18th. There are a few meetings, upcoming meetings. There's the EMO coordinator and municipal EMO staff on February 25th to revise our plan and also see what kind of training needs to be done in the near future. And then I will meet upland with Larry Peach February 26th, 2020. Our annual insurance renewal report February 26th. We meet them once on February 26th, and we know that prices will be going up. The municipal tax sale March 7, 2020, there will be on March 7th here. There on February 19th, today there were 33 properties remaining, and we hope to reduce that before the meeting on March 7th. Finally, we have a liaison and oversight committee on March 5th, 2020.
So that is my report. Any questions? Councillor Camon? For the gas tax fund that we received in the 2018-19 fiscal year, did we receive it in double, like twice, or? Yes, there was a top-up that was made. They doubled our allocation for 2018-19. I know that through Federation of Municipal Councillors, They are pushing that this doubling of the funding becomes permanent, so every year it would be coming directly from the federal to the municipalities. There was no decision made. I know the Federation is pushing for it, but it's not decided yet. So our allocation for next year, we estimate that it will be more like $380,000 or 400,000, which is the usual allocation. Any more questions? For the high-speed internet, I think it is important to note that it was always a priority of the council. This council, since 2017, we are working on this project. Sometimes it went well, other times not so good. But I want to recognize all the work that the councillors have done. And I want to thank our chief officer for the work that he has done on this. It was a lot of work, and the public has not seen this, but to work with the private sector is hard. And I want to say publicly, thank you very much. And the success is in great part for the work that you put into it. Thank you. We'll go on to 10, the Building Permits Committee, 10.1, Councillor Hill.
Another year underway. In January of 2019, we had 11 permits issued for $860,000 worth of construction. And January of 2020, there was 7 permits issued with just over $322,000 worth.
Any questions? If not, thank you. Councillor Hill. 11, other new business, motion to support the TMAC conference of 2021. I know Larry did a good presentation to the committee and council in committee. Maybe you could make an overview of the presentation. TMAC, or Travel Media Association of Canada, is an organization that regroups the provincial chapters, and in Nova Scotia there is one TMAC, and the municipality of Clare is part of that unit. Essentially, it is to encourage discussions and relationships with travel writers to do the promotions on our communities, our tourist attractions and cultural, etc., to encourage the interest to our community. The community that met this year, there was YASTA and the municipality of Clare. There was a dialogue with, and also with other people involved. The opportunity would be to welcome the annual meeting of the conference, annual meeting in 2021. It is work that is bigger than just one community can do. So YASTA has contacted the neighboring communities of Clare, Digby, Shelburne, and others to look at the possibility to submit a regional request to welcome the conference and the annual meeting in 2021. In talking with Larry Peach, it is something he sees a lot of value in it, not only the number of travel agents that will come in the area for the conference. They have the possibility of visiting our region, and there will be fan tours to do the promotions of our region. And we hope that the stories that will come out from the conference here regarding their experience in southwestern Nova Scotia, and specifically the municipality of Clare. So the request from YASTA is to see if there is interest from our municipality to participate in that AGM, and if yes, are we willing to submit or to write a letter of support to the submission? YASTA will sponsor the request, and if secondly, if we want to participate, we want to make a contribution towards the event of $10,000. So we see that the contribution is an investment on our part. We will have a good value for this investment. And again, the stories that will come out will be written by these travel agents, and by giving a contribution, it guarantees that we have a fan tour in the municipality, familiarization tour in the municipality of Clare. So essentially, that was it. It is the recommendation of our tourism manager that we write the letter and that we invest $10,000, and we support his recommendation. And this is what we are proposing to the council this evening. So you have all heard the presentation last Wednesday. And Councillor Hill?
Larry gave a quite an enthusiastic presentation, and I think for the $10,000 investment, I think it's get a lot of return from that, a lot of benefits. I think it's a good idea. Move that the council for the municipality of the District of Clare contribute $10,000 to YASTA in support of the regional bid to host the 2021 TMAC conference and AGM.
Quelqu'un qui appuie?
Anybody seconds? Councillor Thibault? Any discussion on the motion? Thank you, Mr. Warden. Councillor DeVoe? It's the same thing that I requested the day that we were at the meeting. I want to make sure that YASTA does not have all the decisions, that we are also involved in the decision making, to make sure that our group, the group of Clare, or our council, have the chance to give some input to see how things are going with YASTA. On that point, our tourism manager will be the go-to person at the table, and he is more capable in that domain. The letter of support that we will write to YASTA is to support the event that will be included in it, that we want to have a return on the investment, or having one or more fan tours in the community of Clare. Any more questions? I think what sold me on the presentation is if you purchase advertising, $10,000 doesn't go far. So to invest $10,000 and have all this publicity, it multiplies what you would have with only advertisements in different papers. Any ready for the question? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.2, motion to send a letter, Nova Scotia Civic Address File, NASCAF.
This is because of the work presented by Jose Thibault. The line that separates the village of Grosscock and Church Point was traditionally the Bon Enfant Road. At a certain point, this frontier has been modified. It is right now it is not the Bon Enfant Road that separates the two. It is more on the Grosscock side, which cuts against quite a few lands, and Conseil Thibault met a lot of the residents there to see if they wanted to come back to the original boundary line. The opinion and the preference of this road was unanimous that they wanted to go back to the original boundary line. So the request is that the Council of the Municipality of Clare writes a letter to re-establish the original boundary line on the boundary road. This just to be clear, this does not change the boundaries for electoral boundaries, which are essentially the villages of Church Point and Groskok. Conseil Thibault. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Nova Scotia Civic Address File, NSCAF, requesting the current boundary line between Church Point and Groskok be changed back to the Bonenfant Road. Somebody seconded. Is there any discussion on this vote? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 11.3, motion to appoint returning officer for 2020 municipal and school board elections. With the election, municipal election and school board, which will be held in October 2020, we will have motions that we have to pass to council. The first one that we wish to pass must be passed before the 15th of March, is the nomination of a returning officer. Pam Dousa, our civic development, did this work in the last municipal election, and everything went well. So the recommendation for that council designate somebody to do for the next next election. Monsieur Deveau. As mentioned, she did it before and she did such a good job. So I'd like to make the motion. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare appoint Pam Dousa as the returning officer for the 2020 municipal and school board elections. Somebody second. Conseiller Thibault, Councillor Hill. Is there any discussion on this vote? Councillor Potier? Just a question. With will there be more than one meeting? Will there be just one for school board and one for the municipal, as I understand, and I'm not 100% sure about this? Pam could answer this. The process to elect the CSAP members will be similar to the last election, and also for the Tri-County School Board. Is there any other discussion or question? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Okay. Motion carried. 11.4, motion to write a letter of support. Expo Our Saint-Bernard. Expo Our Saint-Bernard is an organization that promotes our local artists and try to encourage the sale of their work. The expo exists now for the past 10 years, and last year they had 26 artists that participated. Nadine Béliveau, who is the contact person for this, met our communication director to see if we can get money from the municipality. They are presenting a request for job participation during the summer months, but they are also trying to promote their organization and their organizations. They want a new logo, a new website and marketing. So they're asking for funds to help them in this regard. They're asking the municipality for a letter of support. They want us to, we'd like them to support their activity and the way they're proceeding to obtain some funds to promote. This is, I move that the municipality of the district of Clare write a letter of support for Expo d'Art Seminar. Is there somebody who seconds? Councillor DeVoe. All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. 11.5, motion to send a letter to the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal. In the last meeting, we had read an email that was sent by council to look at the possibility to establish a crosswalk in Meteghan between the discussion of council and our last meeting was to recommend to send a letter to Nova Scotia Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal asking them to take the responsibility whether yes or no we should put a crosswalk. It would be the recommendation of council to write a letter to this department asking them to explore the possibility of putting a crosswalk there. It's a corner that's where there's a lot of traffic and we'd want to see if it would be more secure to have a crosswalk there or not. I move that the Council of the Municipality of the District of Clare send a letter to the Nova Scotia Department of Transportation and Infrastructure Renewal asking that it evaluates the possible addition of a crosswalk in Meteghan at the intersection of the Peter Dugas Road and Route 1. Seconded by Conseil Commons. There discussion on this vote? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against? Motion carried. So you will send a letter to the residents to tell them that the letter has been sold. 11.6, motion to award certificates for the Volunteer Fire Service 50-year Service Award. This is a motion that there are all kinds of certificates for firefighters, but there is not one to reward a 50-year service. So we're asking if it's possible for the municipality to give some things to their firefighters at the banquet, those that have 50-year service. There's somebody who wants to make this motion?
I don't see a problem at all. Anybody who's donated 50 years, says a firefighter, that's a lot of work. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare award certificates of recognition to those volunteer firefighters who have served for 50 years or more.
Appuyé par Conseil.
Seconded by Councillor Thibault. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.7, motion to sign contribution agreement with Mainland Telecom. This is more at the administrative level. The agreement has been signed with the permission of council, of course, but we have to have a motion at a regular council meeting, so that's why it is here to have the motion. I have been waiting for a while to read something like this. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare sign the contribution agreement with Mainland Telecom as presented on February 5th, 2020, as part of the Phase 1 rollout of the fiber optic network spanning 278 kilometers and reaching an estimated 4,600 residences and businesses. Anybody second this? Councillor Hill? Any discussion on the motion? As the CEO mentioned, it is more or less a formality, but it is exciting to pass the motion. Are you ready for the vote? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.8, letter of support. The Championship Society, Atlantic Canada Barbecue. I was approached by their representative of the André Leblanc and Philippe Godet to write a letter. They sent a letter. As we have discussed today by telephone. A letter from the Barbecue Championship is asking for a letter of support from the Municipal Council regarding the Atlantic Canada Barbecue Championship that will be held at the campus of Université St. Anne's from October 14th to the 16th, 2020. The letter of support is part of the request for funding with the community events with the departments of the Heritage and Culture Department. We have a small description of the event for you to consult, and we thank you in advance for your consideration. They gave me a one-pager, or three-pager actually, but I won't read it all, but just a few lines just to present the project.
Championship Festival est un festival annuel qui accueille
Is an annual event that would welcome barbecue competitions with the society that will take place at Church Point in the municipality of Clare, Nova Scotia. The event will be held from August 14th to the 16th and will join people in the barbecue from the Atlantic. For the inaugural event, the society wants to welcome participating teams and judges, international judges, and plan for different competitions from here and Western Canada. The participants took part already in world events of this type. We are looking at 2,500 visitors during the event and during the festival on August 14 to 16, 2020. Councillor DeVoe, I would like to make the motion, please. I move that the municipality of the District of Clare write a letter of support for the Atlantic Canada Barbecue Championship Society, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Any discussion on the motion? I think it is a good event. It will be held around August the 15th, so that's good. Are you ready for the vote? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Contrary, no. Motion is carried. 11.9, funding request, Elizabeth Harvey Nutrition Committee at École Secondaire de Clare, Clare High School. Mr. Sear, I am writing on behalf of the members of the committee at the Clare High School to solicit the financial help of the municipality. At the beginning of the school year 2019, a group of parents and professionals of health and education and members of the community met with the objective of looking at the services of nutrition at the Clare High School. With the support of the principal, Marc Poirier, we are looking at ensuring the nutritional value for students and to improve the nutritional value at the school. The committee wants to allow the staff of the school and the students to have good nutritional value at the school, and they want to determine the best formula to offer nutrition at the school that respects the Canada Nutritional Guide and according to the monetary, and to support the people in education and the parents, and to help them to become consumers, and to follow the a menu that respects the nutritional guide and according to their finances and forth, to ensure the quality of the offer of nutritional services at the school. We are at the experimental stage, and we are looking at how to better serve the students at the high school. And to guarantee the success of this program, we want to allow the cooks at the cafeteria to prepare meals without going into deficits. And there is not enough money available to support these cooks at the school, so we are looking at finances to ensure the services at the school that would allow to continue to support our objective, and that will allow us to have a salad counter, and we are ready to meet with you to discuss this further, and thank you for looking at our request. Signed, Elizabeth Harvey, Nutritional Committee. So the council has not reflected on this already, so it does not meet the criteria of grants to organizations, so it is a larger question. So I don't know how you want to deal with this, if you want to discuss with it tonight, if you want more time to think about this. I can come back to the committee and council and committee meeting to give us time to think about this. The reality of the request, as I see it, it is more than one request, is to think on a policy, because essentially in the past we did not have items like this on the agenda, but I'm not saying we don't want to do it or want to do it, but we have to think of the other organizations who are in the same situation and are in operational deficits. So I think it's a question we have to really think about. And if you all agree with the recommendation of Councillor Thibault, we can bring it back to the council and committee meeting and think about this in case some other similar requests come forward. So this is just a reminder for the councillor. The municipal budget, as it is now, includes a contribution to the education system of 1.7 million. So it is the highest item on our $9 million budget. So we want to make sure that this contribution, we already contribute in a larger sense to the education field. So above that event, it could be challenging looking at other events.
Our place to get involved in something like this. Like, we shouldn't be making policy over school meals or even be governing anything over it, really. Not that I can see. I mean, we pay the province so much for the school systems, correct? And if we get into this with the schools, I mean, where's it gonna go from there?
Boucher un petit plus.
I think it opens doors that maybe we should not be opening with this particular project. So, do you want to go bring this to committee council, or are you decided that we should not proceed with this? I know people generally don't realize how much money we are already given to the school. So we have had requests like this in the past, which were not accepted. In the past, we have supported request for Joseph School and Huamarike School for the sports accommodations. In the case of Huamarike, it was community, it was for capital. This request is for the cafeteria inside the school. No, I think there's a difference.
So most of the time we bought equipment and stuff for the schools, it was also used by the community as well. This is a completely different ballgame to me.
If I have the appearance at council, would like to take a decision this evening. For me, it's not that it's not a good request, but it's the precedent that would be creating, and there would be other requests regarding health. If we get into that, then it could open the door for other such requests. So if it's the consensus of council, we will send a letter to them explaining the reasons. Then we go to 11.10, motion to dispose of documents of 2012 or prior to 2012. We're doing some cleaning in council. We're looking at old boxes of documents that are getting old. There are all kinds of assessment rolls, bills, documents regarding recreation committee for activities, summer activities, tipping fees, check stubs, return checks, all deposit books that we had, and finally sales receipts for Rendezvous de la Baie. The reason that we are telling you this is not just it's not just simply destroying them because we have a bylaw that as CEO I have to revise all of them, which is not a bad thing. Then I must ask a motion of council indicating an affidavit signed describing the documents to follow the process that's in place today to allow us to destroy these documents. We need a motion by council that we can carry this out on this point. It is like a discussion for the bylaw committee. This bylaw exists. There should be, according to me and there should be a record management policy that would allow us to do exactly the same thing, and that we should be able to do without having to consult council. The AMA has a draft policy that could inspire us to create one for ourselves. And going forward, this is something maybe we should do for your consideration. And once this is in place, we could maybe have destruction of document bylaw. I think this would be such a bylaw would allow us to do the work more efficiently. Okay. Should I propose? I move that the municipality of the district of Clare dispose of those documents with a date of 2012 or prior, which have no value therein and do not include any documents or records which are exempt from destruction pursuant to section 3 of the destruction of documents bylaw. somebody, seconded by Councillor Hill. Is there discussion on this vote? Okay, thank you. I agree with Mr. C because it doesn't make sense to me. We're not gonna see what he's gonna destroy anyway. So to me, it doesn't, I agree that we should do this with this. I'm 100% agree. If we had, all the councillors have to look at all those documents, it would be quite tedious. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor indicate by saying yes. Against, motion carried. Let it go. Closed session. There's acquisition, sales, security. We'll need a motion to go, proposed by Councillor Hill, seconded by Councillor Leblanc. Those in favor indicate by saying yes. Motion carried. Good evening.